Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Regimental Combat Team, turn 16.5, Commonwealth. It is January 1944. The Commonwealth had 2 tech rules. First, I tried for improved construction at a 7 or higher. PBE generated a 4, so I failed. Second, I tried for long-range aircraft at an 8 or higher. PBE generated a 4, so I failed. Purchases. Great Britain has 21 IPP to spend after convoy raiding. I will upgrade 2 militia to infantry for 4, 7 militia for 14, that's 18, and 1 airborne infantry for 3 is 21. FEC has 13 IPP to spend. I will purchase 1 infantry for 3, 2 Gurkhas for 8, that's 11, and I'll repair the 2 damage on the miner factory in Siam for 2, that's 13. Anzac, I have 8 IPP to spend. I will begin a major port in Western Australia for 3 and save 5. Combat movement. Well, first housekeeping. Some housekeeping. Down here in French Somaliland, after the Free French surrendered, they moved their capital to French Somaliland. And then there was another... the Soviets could not have railed... Hambone caught that they couldn't have railed the miner factory from Novosibirsk to Transcaucasia because of the damaged rail. Many turns ago, the rail there between North Caucasia and Transcaucasia was bombed for 2 points of damage. So now instead, Silk had the miner factory railed to Crimea. And I'm racking my brain because I feel like there was something else I was... Oh, and God, no wonder I'm racking my brain. The important thing here is that the Allies declared war on the Soviets. And so that aligned Iran to the British. They go up to IPP. And the Allies are at war with the Soviets. They did that at the end of their non-combat movement. I think that's all the housekeeping I can think of. All right, combat movement. I've got a lot of combat this turn. First, I'm going to, from London, I'm going to take my air transport and fly an airborne to there. The air transport will land in London, so I'm just going to keep it there. From London, I will bring 2, 4, 5 fighters to Scotland. 1, 2, 3, all 5 of those are going to land in southern England. And that'll be one battle. 5 fighters in an airborne versus an airborne. From Sea Zone A23, 1 torpedo boat destroyer will move to Sea Zone A3 and auto-kill the German naval transport. Let's see. Okay, down here in Gibraltar. First, I'm just going to have 1 fighter here. The only fighter in Gibraltar will fly up to Sea Zone A44 and go on map. Okay. From Gibraltar, this task force consisting of 3 torpedo boat destroyers and a naval transport, it will leave port to Sea Zone A44. From Sea Zone M2, this task force consisting of 1 light carrier, 1 battle cruiser, 5 heavy cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser, 2 British light cruisers, and a destroyer. That's here in M2, this task force. It will move over... Oh, shoot, I tidied everything up. It will move over to Sea Zone A44 and join with the 3 torpedo boat destroyers and the naval transport there. And this massive armada will move into this Italian coastal sub. Hambone, I didn't reach out to you to ask if you want to engage in one round of combat, because I know you don't. And then all of those ships will go to Sea Zone A21. So that's a light carrier with a fighter, a battle cruiser, 5 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, 1 destroyer, 3 torpedo boat destroyers, and a naval transport. The naval transport is going to go in port in southern England. Get an in-port marker. All right, that is the situation here. Home fleet comes home. Next, down here in Gibraltar, this little task force of a battleship and a naval transport will leave port to Sea Zone M2, and they will attack carrying 1. The transport's carrying 1 infantry, and I'll drop that off in Tunisia. Whoops, that's not on camera, is it? Drop that off in Tunisia. This sub is over here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have 1 battleship bombardment, the 1 fighter from the light carrier. I'm just going to leave it on the light carrier because it's going to fly back and land there. And then, so I've got a battleship bombardment, a fighter, and a infantry versus the infantry, and I'm in desert there in Tunisia. Okay, over here to Abyssinia, another attack. From Nubia, 5 infantry will move to Abyssinia. From Italian Somaliland, 2 infantry will move to Abyssinia. From Lower Egypt, 1 fighter will fly 1, 2, 3 to Abyssinia. It will land in Italian Somaliland. From Madagascar, 1 fighter flies 1, 2, 3. It will land in Italian Somaliland. So I'll have 7 infantry, 2 fighters versus a infantry and a militia in mountain. Next on the agenda, yeah, that's it over here. Okay, so I guess the next attack is from Anam Tonkin. 1 infantry moves into Cochin, China. It's a walk-on. Whoops. So that will be 1 up for Great Britain, 1 down for Japan. Japan's at 37. Great Britain's at 29. From Siam, this task force card consisting of 1 British infantry, 4 FEC infantry, 6 Gurkhas, 2 Anzac artillery, 2 British anti-aircraft artillery. That task force will move into British Malaya. From Calcutta, 1 medium bomber will fly 1, 2, 3 to Malaya. It has 2 to land. It'll land in Ceylon. So, I think that's it there, and that's Mountain Jungle. And then Sea Zone P50. Okay, so from Sea Zone P44, 1 Anzac submarine moves to Sea Zone P50 to conduct convoy raiding. I think I'll have a +2 there. And I still have 1 more combat. Sydney. From Sydney, I have an air transport with an airborne infantry. It will fly 1, 2, 3, South Australia, Western Australia, P61, 4 to Lesser Sunda, 5, 6. It'll land in Western Australia. Let me think here. That's not exactly right. It's 1 for New South Wales, 2 for South Australia, 3 for Western Australia, 4 for P61, 5 for Lesser Sunda, lands in Western Australia. That's a walk-on. That's 1 up for Anzac. I think my calculations were off. Yeah, even now I've grabbed a British rondel and it's Anzac. I shouldn't have done this. I don't know if I should do this, Bruce. Okay, Brewster, I'm doing it. I hope it's the right thing to do. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so Anzac. I get an Anzac rondel. I think it's going to turn out to be the right thing to do. Okay, Anzac takes a walk-on here in Lesser Sunda. One up for Anzac. Goes to 8. 1 down for Japan. Goes to 36. Alrighty. Is that all my... Yep, I think that's all my combat movement. So now we're going to roll some dice. The first one will be in Scotland. It's kind of... I kind of am a little bit nervous because I could see Hambone. I think he has improved construction and he throws down a bunch of factories. In Scotland, he just burrows in like a tick. Okay, so I've got 1 airborne infantry at 2 because it's mountain. Miss, and 5, 2, 4, 5 at 6. Just need 1 hit. Okay, got 3 hits. He's got 1 at 2. It'd be nice if he misses. Okay, that's nice. So that's 1 down for Germany and 1 up for Britain. Britain goes to 30. Germany goes to 58. Okay, next battle is Tunisia, which is desert. I have 1 battleship bombardment. It'd be really nice to hit this and just get it over with. Nope. All right, I got 1 at 1 and 1 at 6. Hit, but he's got a pretty good chance that he takes me out, and I don't take it. No, okay, well, that was lucky. So Tunisia is worth 1 for the Germans. Great Britain captures Tunisia. That's 1 down for Germany, 1 up for Great Britain. So let's go do that. Great Britain goes to 31. Germany goes to 57. Next combat is Abyssinia, which is mountainous. I think I have 7 infantry at 1. I got a hit. And then I've got 2 fighters at 6. It would be nice if one of them hits because then the battle will be over. Okay, great. So I killed both units. He's got 1 at 5. He's got 1 at 2. His militia. Miss, barely. And 1 at 5. Hit. Okay, so I lose 1 infantry. I take Abyssinia with 5 infantry, or 6 infantry. Yeah, that makes sense. I had 7. Okay. Let's take off these Italians. It's not worth anything. Okay. Next is British Malaya. This is mountain jungle. So I have 2 artillery first strikes at 2. They get knocked down by 1 in the mountain. Nothing. I have 3 unboosted infantry at 1. No, that was unexpected. I got 1. All right. I've got 2 boosted infantry at 2. Nope. I've got 6 Gurkhas at 3. One hit. Well, that's not very good. And I've got the 1 medium bomber at 7. Oh, this is awful. All right, he's got the all-important anti-aircraft. He's got 1 shot at 3 with his anti-aircraft, and he does kill my medium bomber. This is going to be a tough battle. That hurts. Okay. Well, you know, I was definitely due for anti-aircraft. I have been lucky. I've been unlucky in so many ways, tech and subs, and but I have been lucky so far on AA. That's really gonna hurt. I'm going back. He has 1 militia at 2. Miss. He's got 1 anti-aircraft or elite airborne at 3. Another hit. Ooh, he's on fire with those guys. And 3 at 4. Okay, so I have to take off 2 hits here, other than the medium bomber. So I'm going to take off 2 FEC infantry. He had to take off 2 hits. So he'll lose the anti-aircraft artillery and the militia. So he is left with an elite airborne and 3 infantry. Let's go for the next round. I have no unboosted infantry. I've got 2 boosted infantry and 2 artillery at 2. So that's 4 at 2. Got 6 at 3. My Gurkhas. Jeez, not good. 1 hit. Okay, he's got 1 at 3. Hit. Hey, boy, this now I'm getting diced. And 3 at 4. Holy fuck. Oh god, I'm so sorry, Bruce. The game is blowing up. Maybe I should take the 2 anti-aircraft artillery. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 2 anti-aircraft artillery. 1 British infantry. I still have to take 1 more unit. And I'll take the Anzac artillery. So I'm down to 7 units versus 3 units. I got 1 hit. That was his elite air. So it's 3. I got 6 Gurkhas and an artillery versus 3 infantry. Oh, it hurts. Okay. 2, 4. I got the 1 at 2 with the artillery. Good, thank you. 1. And then 6 at... Jeez, these Gurkhas suck. Okay, I got 2 hits. He's got 3 infantry at 4. 2 more hits. Good lord. God. Okay, so I got 5 Gurkhas versus 1 infantry. Why? 1 at 4. God, that was bloody. That was very, very, very painful. Oh my God. Okay, so I take it with 5 Gurkhas. Oh man, devastation. I've got FEC goes up 2 to 13, and Japan goes down 2 to 34. Okay, I think there's convoy rating. So I think I've got a +2. Red is the attacker. So I do 5. He has 2, so that's 3 points of damage to Japan. So I think that knocks them down to 50 right on the nose. Let me mark that. That line has got 3 points of damage on it. All right, non-combat movement. Up in London, I'm going to have 2 Marines move to southern England. Nothing else up there. Okay. In Gibraltar, this seaplane is going to fly down to southwest Africa. 1 to A44, 2 to A46, 3 to A48, 4 to A51, 5 to A53, 6 to land in southwest Africa. Back up there in Gibraltar, I am going to have 1 naval transport leave port to Sea Zone M2. This guy will leave port to Sea Zone M2. Then he'll move 1 to M4, 2 to M8, and 3 to I5, and he'll go in port where that guy is. Meanwhile, that guy will come out of port to A5 and then do strategic naval movement. Since I have Sun Never Sets now, I can move 3 strategic naval moves. So or have 3 units moving in strategic naval movement. So I'll move 1 space to here for I4, pick up these 2 Marines. Then I'll go 2 back to I5, 3 to M8, 4 to M4, 5 to M2, and I will go back in port where that guy, so I'm finishing the loop and adding 2 Marines to Gibraltar. All right. Lower Egypt. Okay. From Lower Egypt, I'm going to have 7 infantry move to Western Egypt. So I'll have 8 infantry there in Western Egypt. From Upper Egypt, I'm going to have these 2 infantry move to Nubia. From Aden, I'm going to have the heavy cruiser and destroyer leave port to I5, then move 1 to I7, 2 to I12, 3 to I11, and go in port in Calcutta. Down here in Africa, in Bukhanaland, I will have this force of 3 infantry, 2 motorized infantry, and 2 artillery move into Rhodesia. Leaving space for the French guys to join them. From Cape Town, I will strategic rail move the infantry into Rhodesia. From Kuwait, one naval transport will leave port carrying the 2 infantry to I-6. It'll then move 1 to I-7, 2 to I-12, 3 to I-11, and go in port in Calcutta. From Bengal, 2 Gurkhas will move into Calcutta. From Burma, 1 FEC infantry and 2 Gurkhas will move to Bengal. That was off camera. Sorry about that. Here in southern Iran, 1 infantry will walk to Maharashtra. The other one will rail to Calcutta. Use one of Randall's beautiful pieces there in Maharashtra. Okay. Still reeling from what happened. Okay, from Queensland, 1 medium bomber will fly 1 to Northern Territory, 2 to C-Zone P-63, 3 to P-61. Wait, that doesn't work. I only have a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't make it. 1. Oh, I know. 1 to P-63. I don't fly to Northern Territory. I just fly straight into here. 1, 2, 3 to I-13, 4 to I-12, 5 land in Ceylon. Okay. And then from Queensland, all the land units will move to Northern Territory. So that will be 2 militia, 4 infantry, 1 motorized infantry, 1 anti-aircraft artillery. Do I really need to move all that? I'm so paranoid. I'm only gonna move 1 infantry. No, I'll move 2 infantry and I'll leave 2 back. And I'll leave these. No. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these 2 militia back. I'm so sorry for calling it audible. My anxiety kicks in. Okay, so let's get infantry out there for Queensland. All right. I think that concludes my non-combat movement. We'll proceed to placement of units. Anzac is going to begin construction of a port that's on the seam of C-Zones P-63 and P-61. Right there. They have 8 plus 2 bonus income, so they'll have 15. Or they saved 5, so they 8 plus 2, and then saved 5 is 15. All right. FEC placement of units. I'm going to build an infantry in Calcutta, 2 Gurkhas in Bengal. That brings me up to 4 Gurkhas there. All right, and then collect income for the FEC. Oh, I repaired the 2 damage on the factory here in Siam. That's healed. All right, so FEC's at 13, plus 2 bonus income is 15. I didn't save anything, so they have 15 for next turn. Placement of units for Great Britain. I'm going to do a militia upgrade militia here in Malta, so that'll add an infantry. I'm going to do the same thing, a militia upgrade militia, a MUM, here in Gibraltar, so that'll add an infantry. I got 2 infantry in Gibraltar. That leaves me 5 militia still and an airborne still to place. So one of the militia is going to go down here in Rhodesia. That'll leave me 4 militia and an airborne to place. All right. And then we'll put those 4, the three militia and an airborne are going to go into London. That's where the air transport landed, if I didn't say. I should land these 5 fighters here in Scotland. The 5 fighters landed in southern England. Really, I should use my task force card for southern England and not for London, because I don't have much stuff in London anymore. I'll straighten this out. But all those fighters are in southern England. The air transport did land in London. I think that's that. Let's look at what else I'm supposed to... I did 3 militia there. I've got 1 more militia to go. And that final militia gets placed in northern England. All right. Collect income for Great Britain. They're at 31, plus 3 bonus income is 34 for next turn before the convoy raiding begins. I do repair the 2 battleships that are here in Gibraltar. All right. So, proceeding on. Free France has nothing to spend, so they don't buy anything. Combat movement, I am going to have 1 combat move here in Eritrea. From French Somaliland, this 1 Foreign Legion will go into Eritrea, and from Madagascar, it will fly 1 to I3, 2 to I4, 3 to I5, 4 to Eritrea, and it will land in Abyssinia. These fighters that are in Abyssinia, I should have landed them in Italian Somaliland. Sorry for not remembering to do that. Those guys are in Italian Somaliland. So there's a medium bomber and a Foreign Legion that isn't affected by the desert or mountains. So the Foreign Legion is at 2, and the medium bomber is at 7. 1 hit, and he's got, is it 2? 1 at 2? 1 at 2. Okay. So Eritrea is not worth anything, just cleaning up the Italians where I can. Eritrea is Free French. The bomber lands in Abyssinia. Oh shoot. Well, I forgot to do a move, so that's too bad. I will move this French sub over here. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Is there anything else I'm doing with the French? I don't think so. I don't think there's any other French units to move. Did the Eritrea, did the sub. Oh, no, there is. There isn't. This is why it's good to have notes. I'm moving down here in Bechuanaland. I'm going to have 1 motorized infantry move to Southwest Africa, and then I'm going to have 2 Foreign Legion move to Rhodesia. All right. I think that's the end. Let's see what the Free French collect 2. All right. Disposition. I see my battery's getting low, but I've got all of this recorded. So let's start up here in London. In Scotland, 1 airborne. In Sea Zone A3, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. In Northern England, 1 militia. In Southern England, 6 militia, 4 infantry, 2 marines, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, 2, 4, 5 British fighters, 3 American fighters, 1 American jet fighter, 1 naval transport in port. In London, 3 militia, 1 airborne infantry, 2 anti-aircraft artillery, 1 American jet, 1 American fighter, 1 air transport. In port there, a French battleship, 2 coastal defense ships. In Sea Zone A23, 1 coastal defense ship, 1 fighter on map. In Sea Zone A22, 1 French fighter on map. In Sea Zone A21, 1 light carrier with a fighter, 1 battle cruiser, 5 heavy cruisers, 1 Anzac light cruiser, 2 British light cruisers, 1 destroyer, 3 torpedo boat destroyers. In Sea Zone A44, 1 fighter on map. In Gibraltar, 2 battleships, 1 American heavy cruiser, 1 American destroyer, 2 American naval transports, 1 British naval transport. In Gibraltar, 1 militia, 2 infantry, 2 marines, 1 anti-aircraft artillery, 3 American infantry, 1 American advanced artillery. In Sea Zone M2, 1 light carrier with a fighter, 1 battleship, 1 transport, 2 submarines, 1 French submarine. I'm having second thoughts about that. I'm going to keep the French submarine in. No, I think I'll keep it where it is. Never mind, it's fine. All right. And then there's American ships there. There's a fleet carrier with a fighter and a tactical, a battleship, a light cruiser, actually 2 light cruisers, 2 destroyers, 2 coastal submarines. In Tunisia, an infantry. In Malta, a militia, 2 infantry, and an anti-aircraft artillery. In Cyprus, a militia. In Syria, a French militia. In Transjordan, a militia. In Upper Egypt, this is Lower Egypt. In Lower Egypt, a militia, an American infantry, a marine, 2 American marines, a mountain infantry, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, a naval transport in port, and a fighter. I don't know if I said Western Egypt, 8 infantry. Nubia, 2 infantry. Eritrea, French Foreign Legion. Abyssinia, 6 infantry, 1 French medium bomber. In Italian Somaliland, 2 fighters. In Madagascar, 1 French militia. In Rhodesia, a militia, 4 infantry, 2 Free French Foreign Legion, 2 motorized infantry, 2 artillery. In Southwest Africa, 1 French Foreign Legion, 1 Free French motorized infantry, 1 British seaplane. In Cape Town, a militia. In Southern Iran, a militia. In Maharashtra, an infantry. In Ceylon, a militia and a Anzac medium bomber. In Calcutta, 3 militia, 4 infantry, 2 Gurkhas, 3 FEC anti-aircraft artillery, 1 FEC tank destroyer, 1 fighter, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 destroyer, 1 Anzac naval transport in Bengal, a FEC infantry, and 4 Gurkhas. In British Malaya, 5 Gurkhas. In Cochin China, 1 British infantry. In P50, 1 Anzac submarine. In Lesser Sunda Islands, 1 Anzac airborne infantry. In Western Australia, 1 air transport. In Northern Territory, 2 Anzac infantry, 1 motorized infantry, 1 anti-aircraft artillery. In Queensland, 2 militia, 2 infantry. In Sydney, 4 militia and a half-built fortification. North and South Island with a militia each. And I do believe that is the end of my disposition. Next up is Hambone with 16.7, Italy.